the same tour though, some of the stops had Earl Sweatshirt performing, and that's my favorite rapper. So I was a little bit disappointed he wasn't performing. About to go ahead and give it a play.
An Evening with Silk Sonic. Here we go. Here's the intro.
1, 2, 3, 4. Who y'all get to see tonight? Who gon' get the ladies feeling something?
Right out the bat with the.
We gon' lock this groovy tight. Yeah, look, we're locking it in there.
Right out the bat with the 70 percussion.
Groove down for nothing.
Got the horns in there too.
Get us alive, master of the universe.
give a couple different perspectives of it. One, I love the song. I done played it to death. That's my shit. But what I will say is, I'm gonna touch on it from another perspective because I feel like a lot of them worn out already. So we're looking at it from a songwriting perspective. We kind of look at it like a older man who's like a sugar daddy. Almost.
What you talking?
Well, I guess like in the older days, especially like more so around traditional dating. Traditional dating was kind of like a thing where the value that a man would add to the situation would be proving that he's a provider. So he would lure the woman in, like he'll talk real sweet to her, like, okay, I'm gonna be nice to you. And then, whether you want to or not, or, regardless of what I got going on, if you're not coming through, he ain't calling somebody else. He's just gonna wait to see if you're coming through. Like he's in there taking that, it's like a perspective of, well, I don't know if you're gonna come or not, but I'm still gonna, you all I got right now, but I got all this money right here. And I'm gonna show you all this money right here, so you can come and I can make you very comfortable. I think that reminds me of like the song itself. Like if a woman encounters like this song right here coming on, can set a great vibe because the groove to it, all that shit hard. But if we're looking at like Brody scale sexual attraction, that'd probably be like a 7 because the basis is you creating comfort and stuff. And it sounds like you're pursuing a whole lot too. Because that's one thing I like to think about is like the love songs from back in the day. A lot of those were some simp anthems. Either simping or dirty macking. Like a lot of them songs back in the day, it was either simping or dirty macking. Okay. So it's like if you like Joe, you gonna dirty mac. Like I'm gonna do all the things your
all
man
the things your man won't do
for the weekend. And then now you ain't got neither one of them. So that'd be fun. And then if he stick with you, he gonna get tired of you, and then he gonna do half of what the man you had was doing before then.
Jeez.
It's just the thrill of the chase sometimes. But then we got what's it called? Then you got the like begging songs, like the simping songs. A lot of was like Pretty Brown Eyes, Breaking My Heart.
Ooh, yeah. That's the song though.
That's my shit though. Hey,
Yeah.
and they slap. I'm still listening to them.
Yeah, he played that song all the time.
Or here's another one. Can We Talk?
Oh yeah.
Like when you think about it, low-key sound like by today's standards, it would look like some stalker shit. Back then, it was acceptable.
He was nervous. He was nervous.
Yeah, that'd be creepy.
Yeah, low key. It was cute though.
But most of the time, how it works is like this. You got like a few seconds between when you first make eye contact with a woman to decide that you're gonna talk to her and either do what you're doing and then talk to her, or find your way directly to her before your hesitance makes her feel unsafe.
Oh.
Because you're indecisive. So then when you come up to her, then she's gonna feel like you're being, she's gonna feel like you're being a little creepy. Or like if you try to build a friendship with her first, and then you try to come out the blue trying to fuck, it's like, hold up, why'd you try to get in through my nice side instead of coming into the front door? Like, do I want to fuck you or not? But it be like that sometimes.
Keep it real, man.
Yeah, keep it real. Well, let's go to the next one.
All right, here's the next track, and it is "Fly as Me." All right.
1, 2, heck you wanna. Okay, now have you ever been with a player? Take you downtown when they treat me like the main. Take you to the crib when you think it'll stay. What's so sad? I'ma show you later. Don't need a spare chiller, everything catered. Extra flavor. Go ahead, sprinkle some truffle. Bring that fire and desire, baby. All you gotta do is meet me halfway down. I deserve to be
A lot of percussion
with
all over
somebody
this.
as far as me. Somebody this far.
And the vocal sound kind of raw too.
With somebody as far as me.
It don't sound all super digitized. It sound like they went and did all that shit big. Dropped it in.
Okay, now
They did it
Silk
with
Sonic
a
smooth like a
into the
mat.
mic.
Float like a butterfly on every single track. And the only language that I speak, girl, is
I really
Spanish.
like
So
this.
once I get this game to you, I can take it
Yeah.
back. Coloring at you from a 1977 Monte Carlo. Hard act to follow. It's showtime. Tell them who you up like it's the
How good
Apollo.
of a rapper
Hip hop
energy
is
is.
vicious. Let's get down to business. You and me together. Ooh, that's something different. Ooh, come on.
I wouldn't be surprised if he playing the drums for some of these good many
I
tracks.
really don't.
Yeah, he probably is.
I know he played all the drums for Nigga Door Open in one take. Did the whole song.
All you
Yeah.
gotta do is this. All you gotta do is meet me halfway down. I deserve to be with somebody as
Like the
far
whole
as
track all the way
me.
down.
Somebody this far. And you deserve to be seen with somebody as far as me. Somebody this far. Now for real, I'ma need y'all to understand. Let's get it. If you don't know what we talking about, I'm man, somebody this far. And you deserve to be seen with somebody as far as me. Somebody this far.
This one we pass it through.
Yeah.
I thought it was
And I'm looking for somebody this
that bass line.
Yeah, I love that.
I love it too.
Yeah, that's dope.
There's something they was doing with the harmony. It reminded me of something. I couldn't put my finger on what it was. I don't know if it reminded me of Earth, Wind, and Fire or what.
I'm not sure. I love it.
Let's go to the next one.
All right. Next one we got is After Last Night
Oh, they got Thundercat
with
on there.
Thundercat and
Bootsy Collins.
I like how they had that intro just like they did on Nigga Door Open.
Damn, I don't even know who I was last night.
They got that drag on the drums with that nasty ass kick. That's a kick for fucking right there. That's a kick for fucking.
Oh, that's what it is.
Yeah.
everything.
They made him stutter.
You weren't listening to the words at all, were you?
That production had got me on that one.
Yes. Man, that one had me speechless. That was amazing.
I don't even know what they was talking about.
All of the
all I heard
harmonies.
was something about do it again.
No, like
like
she
Do
put
It
that
Again.
thing on him. Had him
Oh.
just going crazy. When I'ma see you again.
Oh, so it sounded like he was tricking off.
Tricking off. Okay.
And that $40 pussy was it was a little underpriced for its quality.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And then she started acting funny with it, not trying to schedule them appointments. And now it's like, hey, like I need that. Run me some ass.
Oh, that's what was going on.
Yeah, that's what it sounded like.
What you mean? You said you weren't listening to the words. How you got all of that?
I mean, from what you told me, I was thinking about the vibe of the song, and then I was thinking about the narrative of the project altogether. So it's like a lot of it is like the real, like flashy kind of like player shit. 'Cause
Yeah.
It's different kind of player shit because that kind of goes in line with like gender flex theory
Okay.
a little bit, like some of that old school player shit, like pimps.
Yeah.
That old fashioned where a lot of times pimps will have very feminine,
Yes.
mannerisms and gestures. Because some of them was gay, but partly it's because some of the niggas was just like when they had a hate for women, or just had an understanding and they just knew, okay, cool. Well, I may not be the best looking guy in the world, but if I dress up, go out of my way to spend a bunch of money on these clothes, like a woman would, and then I, do my hair up the way a woman would, that it's gonna catch her eyes.
Oh.
And then I'm going to attract her in a feminine way so I can lure her in.
Wow.
But what happens there is some dudes will take that route and they'll say, okay, cool, I'm going to try to impress her with my money and say I'm a quote unquote high value man so I can get some ass. And then you spend all that money and you get something and it's like, well, this is above my pay grade right here. If you ain't got enough game to fuck her for free and you paying for it, sometimes you get less than what you paid for, sometimes you get more than what you paid for, because you might get overstimulated and deal with somebody who's like sexually above like what your game can manage. Then now you in a situation where you probably a monogamy minded dude dealing with openly polyamorous kind of women, and you chase behind them, kind of like that song Hello It's Me by Todd Rundgren. That's when you get caught up with them sage burners and the free spirit hoes, because you came and dropped some of that free spirit pussy on you,
Free spirit. Okay.
some of that sage burning coochie, the belly beads kind, you know what I mean?
Oh, the little waist bead thing.
I thought about grabbing some waist beads when I went to the damn African thing.
I always wanted some.
But they had some in there. But I like that necklace.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was nice. You ready?
I forgot what I was saying.
I don't know, but I think we can move on to the next song.
Yeah, we move on to the next. I'm gonna cut some of this shit anyway.
Smoking.
Looking out the window.
Wait a minute, this love started off so tender, so sweet. But now she got me smoking out the window. Must have spent 35, 45,000 up in Tiffany's. Badass kids run around the whole crib like it's Chuck E. Cheese. Put me in the jail with an X-Man in the UFC. Can't believe it. so cold. You got me out here. Smoking up the window. How could she do this to me?
I love they got the tambourines in the
Just the other
And
night,
all
she
them
was
drums
gripping
sound
on me
Christmas,
tight, screaming Hercules. Got me in the club looking for a new love. Someone had to
You
please.
can tell they mixed the kick
Baby, why you
pretty much like it was
doing
gonna be some hip
Why
hop
you
music.
doing this to
I love it when they do that.
girl?
Because oftentimes set drums don't have that thud at the bottom of it and the low end. So you can often tell the genre music sometimes by how they mix the kick. Whether it's like people make more Eurocentric music versus people make more ethnocentric music. It's kind of how you tell the difference sometimes. So I love when like R&B or hip hop artists make like soul music because they make sure that their kicks are still going hit hard like it's hip hop music. Shit that hits in the low vibrations.
Look here, baby, I hope you find whatever it is that you need.
Yeah.
That was dope. I like that. But yeah, it looked like that's more of like the perils that come with being a player who uses money as your bait.
Yeah, I'm definitely seeing that theme more and more.
Because they got, because that's just some rich nigga problems. You know what I mean? Because some people they got more money. Because some people really busy and they got more money than time when it comes to dealing with women. Right? So I'm like, all right, cool. And they got more money than time. I think they could use that money to go learn how to get them some game from somebody who knows how to teach it. That way they ain't got to do all that. But, people like to have a good time. If those kind of niggas didn't exist, the niggas who like to move a different kind of way would have a much more difficult time out here. It kind of all works together because there's different kind of players. And it's not really a one or the other type of situation because there's people who are along a spectrum. You know what I mean? There's people who are along a spectrum. So some people got to pay outright, right? That's like what I said, 5 levels of sexual attraction, right? Then some people have to pay with persistence, right?
Okay.
Then some people have to pay with comfort.
Okay, so 6 is persistence, 7 is comfort.
Yeah, so
Okay,
persistence
okay.
is, you keep bothering her until she give in.
Yeah, you just
But
wear
you
it
ain't
down.
gonna, you just wear it down, but you ain't got to pay for it now.
Okay, gotcha.
But you might have to wear it down with dates and stuff. So that's not paying money right in your hand. but
Right,
you still
right,
paying
right,
for it. 7 is comfort, which means it may not be necessarily it's just like what you feel comfortable with you, right?
Yeah.
Like her mindset is more so based on not whether or not she actually wants to have sex with you, just on a less level, but just she would pleasantly kind of be cool with doing it.
Yeah, if the conditions are right.
If the conditions is 100% right.
Yeah.
That means when you leave out the gym, she ain't sucking no straight out the gym dick. like that, if they got strong willpower, then it'll be like the conditions have to be like to be in a relationship.
Okay.
Like before she'll fuck with you. But then you go 8. 8 is she's attracted enough to you to where if you're straight up about what you want, you got a green light.
Okay.
So that's free. 7 can be with time or it can be with money, but it's not money you have to spend on her, it's more so money you have to spend on you.
What?
Yeah. So 6, that money had to be spent on her. 7 is that's money that has to be spent on yourself. You can spend money on yourself anyway. So that's real shit. You invest in yourself. But the money you spend on yourself is more so you get the best looking car that you can get so you can impress her. Or you spend the most money that you can on an outfit to impress her.
I see what you mean.
Yeah, or you go to, a restaurant, a really expensive restaurant to impress her. It's that kind of thing. It's like you're still trying to make her comfortable to where she will say it's a good idea and the right decision to fuck with you instead of it being because she actually like lusts and desires you.
Yes.
At 8, it's more so reactive sex drive. So there's a certain level of respect for your masculinity that's at the 8 to where her knowing that you want to do it, her attraction and her respect, her desire level for you will mean that her knowing you want to do it will turn her on. And you just being upfront about it. Like you saying it straight up. And then she'll be like, you know what? That might be an opportunity she want to follow up on.
Yeah.
Not too crazy about it, but just the fact that you were willing to be upfront about that made her respect you and that she wanted to go through with it. The 9, that's when she actively wants it before you say anything. So those are the situations where you can use nonverbal cues. I don't suggest using nonverbal cues. I say shoot at the 8. And then if anything more than that happens, then cool. But don't just sit around and wait for the 9 and wait for the 10 level. So let's say, and really it's about how much respect you have for yourself and how transactional you're okay with sex being. So it's like if you had an 8, all right, cool, you just be straight up. At a 9, you can be vague and ambiguous, and she's going to find a way to insert sex into the conversation so that she's actively trying to make it happen.
Yes.
Without you trying to make it happen. So with that type of situation, that'd be like if you're talking to a woman and you flirt with her a little bit or subtly, and then she quickly tries to escalate that situation going on.
Okay.
Or she'll be flirting with you and showing a high level of signals showing that she actively desires you. The 10 level is where
She throwing it at you.
yeah, she throwing it at you like real hard. And the 10 is also where she will destroy her life for you.
What?
Yeah.
Destroy
Either that or she'll just avoid you if she knows that might happen. What's that?
Destroy her life.
Yeah, like, if she got like a 7 level of sexual attraction for her man at home, and she feels that 10 for somebody else, she has to be comfortable to have sex with him. And because she feels like she has to be comfortable to have sex with him, she's not acquainted with what it feels like to have a type of desire that's a lot less wavering, or to have the type of desire to where in circumstances that she would normally feel like she was safe from getting turned on would be situations that would turn her on even more. So let's say she got a boyfriend, 7 level of sexual attraction for him. They dated 3, 4, 5, 6 months before they had sex. She could tell he wanted to, but that didn't really make her budge. And he might have brought it up, and then she was like, well, I have to get more comfortable first. I have to get to know you first.
Yeah.
You gotta, I want to feel like I know we're going somewhere before I just give you my body. Because it's sex for love. It's transactional in a way. The desire level is not high enough. But when she's like that, she has a certain level of sexual self-control and may conflate that with who she really is sexually. else. Don't worry about it. But if there's a woman who doesn't want to be that way, but doesn't have situational awareness and self-awareness, then she'll put herself in circumstances with guys who she has a much higher level of sexual attraction to. And then when she's counting out the odds in her mind, this shit's going to turn into, oh, I want to fuck him. Because how that shit works sometimes is like this. You got there's comfort, and then there's excitement. When you're in survival mode, you're focused on survival. You're focused on getting whatever's going to make you comfortable or secure for the time being, so you can get through whatever you're getting through. When you're an insecure person, sometimes that's how it works. Right? That's when your cup is really low. But as you become more secure, then you start thinking about things that you didn't like. With somebody who would just do whatever for you, especially like for a woman in masculine feminine dynamics. So then when she gets to that higher place, which means you with your 7th level of sexual attraction, you've been poured into her, spending time with her, you know, helping her improve, you've been improving with each other. When she gets to a certain place, if you aren't sexually integrated and that's still raising up to at least like an 8, 8.5, 9, then she's not going to have the willpower to be able to fight off having that 10 level of sexual attraction for a guy if she's already crossing certain boundaries to where she's in his personal space and they're alone with each other. All he has to do is say the right thing. All he has to do is say the right thing. But some women, they smart. If they feel that way about an individual, they'll just avoid him. They'll just avoid it. Sometimes they get caught up because they think it's going to be lower and then it ends up being higher. And sometimes that's what happens when a dude is when he plays the nice guy game and then he switches it up on a woman. And it also happens with a gentleman gigolo complex too, when you integrate it. But I know I went on my rant.